Nicholas, we're going to take a look at your video from camp. I'm going to let it run through a couple times. The first time will be regular speed. The second time it'll be slow-mo. And then I'm going to come back and break it down and make some comments and some suggestions to help you improve. So here we go.
Nicholas Livermore, class 2031. Oh, sorry. Left. Good job.
Okay, Nicholas, let's come all the way back to the very beginning right here. Once we get your name and your graduation, we always ask you to hustle in to get set up and make the kick. And you did a good job there. The reason we do that, we want you to make it a habit. Anytime you're kicking, you're at practice, coach calls you in, you're in a game, hustle out to your point of placement. Get yourself all set up. You got plenty of time. So it's always just good to jog in, hustle out there and get set up. So just make a practice of it. Everything we try to do and teach and with you kicking and punting is we're trying to get you all to simulate everything that's going to happen in a ball game. That way, when you're in a ball game, it's just like another day of practice. Everything's the same routine, same timing, same everything. So get out there and get set up. Looks like you do a good job here. When you're coming out to get set up, he had to switch around for you here because you're a lefty. And it looks like you do a good job. I'm just kind of glance. It looks like you're taking glances up here. You're aiming points right there, obviously dead center. Above the crossbar there, you pick out something. If there's a flagpole or something that happens to be just in the perfect alignment there, a tree, whatever, you want to try to see if there's any kind of landmark. If not, you're just going to be right above that gooseneck, right in this area, gooseneck area. You're just going to get yourself lined up with that. So you're going to glance there, and you want to have the foot. Looks like you've done it. The camera's positioned right behind here. It's usually right there behind the point of placement right here. So we're pretty close to there. That's what you're looking for. So it looks like you're lined up there. Left foot, your toe ought to be right in the center of that football. Looks like you're doing that. And again, you're facing, you want to glance at this target before you start taking your steps back. And it kind of looks like you're doing some of that. See right here, kind of you've looked a little bit. You glance again, looks like right there. You start back. Then 1, 2, 3. So you got 3 steps back for your alignment right there. So once you get back here, what we're looking for from this angle is, and again, you look like you've done a pretty good job. There's the center. There's the point of placement. And there's your right foot. All 3 should be in a straight line, and you've done a pretty dang good job of that. It's pretty good, okay? But what I want you to consider, and again, all the things we share with you in the camp, these are things over many, many years of studying the greatest kickers and punters in college and pro football, the common denominators that make those guys great, and a lot of them will start with their kicking foot back. They'll step back first with their kicking foot, so they'd be your first step, second step, and then their third step would be with their kicking foot, because you're lining everything off. Nicholas, you're lining everything off your left foot, your kicking foot. So you're stepping back with your right foot. You still do a pretty good job making it happen. See right here, you start with the right. I'd rather see you start with your left. And then your left foot would be 1. Then your right foot would be 2. And then your left foot would be 3. And again, the reason is your alignments. We're trying to get everything aligned off your foot here, the football, and the target, all 3 in a line. So it just makes sense to align with your left foot. You don't have to. Just telling you what what NFL guys do. They'll actually take a step there. They'll have their third step will be there, and then they'll take a 4th step, which would be for you, it'd be your right foot, your non-kicking foot, and then they'll lean back, and you see them take their left hand, they'll raise it up to ensure the foot, point of placement, and the target are all on the same line, and then they'll bring their foot back. It's still 3 steps back. 1, 2, 3. 3 steps back. So you got your steps there. Okay, now right here you should pause, and this is where you should be checking that to make sure you got your steps aligned. Make sure this foot's aligned. You kind of seem like you're rushing this a little bit. So you get here, then you're going. Get right here, pause, check, make sure these things are aligned. All 3 are aligned. And then begin your lateral steps. And your lateral, that's as wide as you want to be on a lateral step. If anything, I think right about here might be a good lateral step for you, right about there. But you're going might be just a little wide, but it's not bad. You're definitely at the maximum point, I would say, on taking the width of your lateral steps. Your feet look like they're going pretty much straight on. This one's turned out a little bit right here. Try to keep them facing straight down the field. Let's see what you do here. You do a pretty good job. Okay, pretty good job on it. I just think they're kind of wide. And when they're wide, it puts you out a little further from the football and a little more increased angle from the football. And you do want to have an angle. You just don't want to have too much angle. Now you want to get that. Now see right here where you've got your foot? You've marked these steps off to these points right here. And then you get over here on this, you've got this foot exactly where you want it. But then as you turn, you pick the foot up and then you move it up. And you've got the foot aiming over here. Let's see if you finish up that way. So you're in your stance. You should have this foot. You got it aiming this way. You need to have it aiming right here in an approximate area where it's going to be planting. And that's important because if your foot's over here, then your body's lined up over that same direction. And we want to get the foot here so your body's lined up more in that direction there, okay? The foot will dictate exactly how this body's going to be squared up because you want to be in a path. So that's what your first step. Let's see if you do it here. See, now you kind of turned your body there a little bit. You're taking a drop step there on that jab. So it's a little different there. So it's a little harder to see, but you want to have this foot. Number one, keep it right there. And then just pivot on the balls of that right foot, on the ball of the foot. In other words, just pivot on your toe. Just let your heel, just let your heel shift around. Just let your heel just shift around. Keep your toes of that right foot, keep them right where they are. Keep the toes of that right foot where they are, and then just pivot. When you bring this kicking foot back, just pivot on the toe of your right foot and don't move it up like that. That's not precise. It's a little thing. That's the difference between being good and great. It's just a little thing, but I want you to be, this alignment of steps that you're doing is going to be the same thing you're going to be doing your entire career. Your entire career. The same way exactly. You know, if you ever make any adjustments, that'll be subtle. So you ought to be dang good at it. Be very good, very accurate, out near perfection at it, and be in the same spot every time. See right there, you do a lot of good job on terms of glance at your target. This foot might be a little too far back. We'll look and see, but you might want to have this thing step back here, bring it up here just a little bit. Just bring it up just a little bit. Again, get this foot aiming toward the point where your plant foot's going to be when you make contact with the football. Okay, now as you come here, good job checking your target. Now eyes should come back down to the holder, what you do. And then you should be, this is now when the hand of the holder comes up to catch the football, that's when you're going to lean and begin your jab right here. Now see, you're lifting your foot up right here, and then you're starting. Your initial movement ought to be right here with your upper body's leaning, and then you'll have the jab. Your whole initial movement is right here. Your whole entire body from the heel up will lean, and then you take a quick jab. It's almost simultaneously, but the body leans to the jab. We say lead with the chest or lean to the jab. And again, what we're looking for, I want to see from the back of your neck to the back of your head. I want to see pretty much a good alignment. You've got your leg kind of bent here. Now you do a little different kind of jab step than a lot of people. I'm not saying it's not. It's not. It's okay. But I just want to see how you're stabilized off that back leg. That's pretty good. See how your leg, it does kind of, it straightens up. That's about as straight as I like to see it right there. And that's kind of straight right about there. And that's what we're looking for. I want to see everything in the line right there. So you do a pretty good job there, but you're doing kind of like a drop step. You're not doing a jab. Normally is just a little jab out front. You're kind of lifting it, and then it's becoming like it goes backwards. And then you rotate your body, your back leg, stabilize your body as your body leans over the jab right there. See how you're going back? That's different. It's okay if you can be consistent with it. You know, it's just something to think about. I just want you to be aware because you just kind of have like a drop step, right? You kind of drop back on your jab. It works as long as we're doing everything else. But what I don't want to see is you're lifting the leg. See how you're like lifting and you're kind of lifting, leaning your body. Your body is actually coming back so you can lift that leg. Just lean and lift it. If you want to lean and then do the drop step if you want. But see how you're coming you're coming off the ground too high for it to do that. You get into your jab there. You're making it work, but it's just a little different. And I'll do a little comparison for you here in just a second, just to show you. Because the jab, you want to be getting your momentum going forward. And I'd be concerned when you start getting timed. You know, especially you progress, you want to go to college, you start getting timed, and you're losing some time right here because you're kind of going back. You ought to be leaning to the jab. So right here, you keep your body. Now your alignment's pretty good there. There's your drive step. There's your plant. The plant looks like it's kind of aiming. You want that plant foot to be, it looks like it's kind of aiming over here a little bit. You want to make sure it's aiming right toward the target. It looks like it's going a little to the left. See it right here? You want to try to get that because, again, the plant, it sets the body. It's the alignment step that allows the rest of the body to follow. So if you're kind of aiming there, you're going to have to kind of pull across it a little bit. Try to get that plant instead of right there. Try to have it aiming more toward that target right there. Okay, the center of the target. Your arm, let's see, we're watching your arms here. Now right here, your left arm's out. That's pretty good. I still think you're kind of, with a combination right here of those too wide of lateral steps, and then you're doing that drop step, you look like you're really reaching right here. And what makes me think you're reaching is just how low you're getting your drawback, your pullback right here with this leg. You kind of reach in, and plus you might be, well, you don't look like necessarily where your toe is. You look pretty good distance from the football where your toe is, but your heel's over here. So when you straighten that, bring that heel, square that up, keep it where your toe is right there, I think you're going to be in pretty good alignment with your plan alongside the ball. So just kind of be aware of that. One step drill. The one step drill allows you to focus on that plant. That's a good drill for you. So you're right here. If you're not getting, I'd rather see this leg right here. This is as high as you get it. I want to see this kind of up higher. This your front leg right here, your upper leg. Instead of here, try to get it more like this, and then your lower leg kind of have it a little higher. We got to get a little more whip leg speed. Left arm's pretty good here, and it should come right across the chest. I think you're going to you're doing like we do call scoops. Here, you're scooping it, you're coming down. You're kind of coming down a little bit. So instead of just take this arm and bring it right across your chest. If it's low right here, this is fine. I don't mind being low, but bring it from there and finish high right over here. Just finish right across the chest. You don't need to be higher than your shoulders. Just kind of come across here. So if you're over here, ideally, it comes right across your chest when it comes. You're down here. You're scooping down here. And that what you're trying to do is your arm is counterbalancing your kicking leg. Say your right arm, but you're kind of coming down below. You're kind of like scooping it up. And I just rather let it balance your body coming just directly across your chest. Left arm. Your left arm, this ought to be just lagging back. So you're getting your left arm involved here. See how you're bending your arm? Just let this arm, see how you got it positioned right here? Just let it kind of hang, and just as you're kicking, let it just kind of lag back. Just kind of lag down in here. Don't get it involved. Just let it kind of hang. Let it just relax, kind of hang there and just be like a balance. Let this arm do the counterbalance. Let this arm, your right arm do the counterbalance. Your left arm's just going to kind of lag back, and it counterbalances your kicking leg. Now right here, it looks like, Nicholas, you hit the ball pretty straight, but right here, you're kind of hitting it. You see, what's that ball? Look at it right there. You compress it. See right there, it kind of expand. But your foot, we generally want to have your foot a slight toe is slightly below the heel. And see, you can see where your heel's kind of hitting the ground here. I don't know if it actually does. Let's see if we can. Yep. See your heel's hitting. And if anything's going to hit, it's going to be slightly the toe area up here on the inside near the football. So we've got to watch your foot here. And I think part with your leg, your foot's aiming there, your plant, that's a combination there. You're making contact, your leg's locking right there, and you're also kind of hitting more with your instep. See right there, you're kind of swinging there. You actually hit the ball pretty good. You get with that expansion, you get it straight. But we just got to work on that foot placement there on the ball. And so try to have it work a little bit. And it's kind of hitting, it's close to hitting that ankle. You get away with it, but it looks like you're a little high hitting that ball up toward more of the ankle. We want it right there more in the center of your foot here. Right in there. It looks like, see right there, it looks like it's kind of hitting the ankle a little bit. But again, you pull off a pretty straight hit. See right there? But you can see the ball kind of come off a little bit in a different position there. There's the laces again. So we got to clean that up just right here. The foot needs to be more like this, coming down. Just have your toe a little lower, slightly lower than the heel, and make contact with it. And those hips, you got to get those hips square toward the target. Again, the plant foot will help if you get that plant straighter and get that arm and let your body torque right there. Let those hips torque through. You get that arm through, get that left arm uninvolved. And you're kind of skipping a little bit right here, but see how you turn too much? You're pulling around, you're coming around too much. You want to let that leg swing right up towards your left, on you would be your right shoulder, and then your skip's going to go in that same direction. And right here, you're coming up, and now see how your foot's coming across your body? You want to continue it on up towards your shoulder, and then let that skip go in that same direction. And that's as far right there, as far as you want you to turn your body. I should not see your kicking foot. I don't want to see your kicking foot from this angle. And see it's coming out. Now I can see your kicking foot. It's coming and see your body's turning. And I think partly it's turning more because you let this arm kind of get involved. This left arm's kind of pulling your left body, your body kind of pulling it around. Whereas your right arm, let the right arm do the work on the counterbalance. You got a little bit of a skip there. It's just you're turning too much here at the end. You got some good fundamentals, especially your age, doing some really good things. These are things just to help you. We just got to work on the foot contact. And Nicholas, want to really help you, that drill we did, the one-step drill. 2 steps back, 1 step over, and then you line your non-kicking foot there, and you're just going to take, basically, you're just taking that 1 step, and you're going to make contact. And the one-step drill is exceptional drill to work on your foot placement, foot contact, your plant foot placement, foot contact with the ball, also your counterbalance arm and your skip step. It's just a good do those without a football and do them with the football. But they're a great warm-up drill, kind of a dynamic type stretch drill. But just work on those and work on your technique. Focus on your technique, and do them without a ball, just to focus on your body and body position. But these things we're talking about are just little things that will tremendously help you. You've got some natural ability. We just want to tweak it a little bit. You did a good job at the camp. Okay, Nicholas, I'm going to do a comparison here with you, do a little extra video analysis for you here. This is a kicker who just graduated from college, exceptional athlete, great technique. He has NFL potential. I froze it right here just to kind of give you an obvious look at your foot position with the ball in relation to, with your toe and your heel. You can kind of see here, just looking at it, you can see how your toe's kind of coming up a little bit, and there's his position right there. your toe slightly down. So you're kind of hitting it up just a little more on that instep, and you're getting it a little higher up on. Also, if you can kind of look here, it's kind of tough, and we've zoomed in on it, but look where the ball is right here on yours, how close it is to your ankle there, and you can kind of see the gap he has on his. So you've kind of hit it a little bit up on your ankle there a little bit. Plus, you can see right here, we'll kind of freeze this right here. Let's just see right at ball impact. Now, you can see your leg, it might be kind of locking a little late on this. But you can also see your plant foot. Look at your plant foot in relation to his plant foot. See how his is going right toward the target right there, and yours is kind of aiming over here a little bit. So it's kind of got your body, hadn't got your hips all the way around. You can see how his hips are already right at contact. He's getting those hips into the ball. In terms of your arm, you got your right arm down here a little bit. Let's go ahead and kind of see what this does here. See, this is where you're scooping down. See how your hand's going right down by your hip. See, his hand is up here. Let's go ahead and bring it over. You can see his hand's coming just across the chest. See how it comes across his right arm. And it's finishing kind of just right at shoulder level there. It's right above it, right on the left. And see, yours is down here. I don't even see it still. I still don't see it. And then you're bringing your right. See how he keeps his left arm kind of back. He keeps it there, but he doesn't let it get anything past where it is right there. It stays right there. And you're bending your elbow and getting your left arm involved. But you're taking that right arm, your counterbalance arm down. There's some similarities. Look how the similarities are right here. And again, with your foot position being off a little bit right here at the plant, you can look here. Look how far he's getting this pull back right here, and yours is kind of your legs down here and there. And I want to get it more here and up here. Okay, so just kind of look at that. So there's some similarities right here. And then your plant, and again, I think you're just too far from the ball here. You're a little bit too far from the ball, but I believe if you look, if you just once you straighten your foot up, you're going to probably be at a lot better position. It's just you got your heel kind of away. With your heel being your foot turned in, your foot's over here. If you just straighten it up, it would pull you a little closer to the ball, actually. So just some little things here. You can see the similarities, and then you can see where it changes. You're scooping with that. See your right hand? His right hand again comes across the chest, and you're kind of going down and leaning. Now let's watch the finish. So your foot's right here, pretty similar there, but then right here you can see your foot's coming up. And now you're kind of rising straight up. You want to kick through the ball right here. And what we always talk about here too, there's like a ceiling. Like you've got a ceiling right here, right above your head. And let's just kind of watch the comparison right here. See how you're going up into the ceiling and he's staying right under it. You're not kicking through the football. You're kind of rising up there with your foot, and you can see how your foot kicking leg comes. See how it comes outside your body? Now your arm gets there eventually right there. But you're kind of riding, and you're also watching the ball. See how he keeps his head right there and he lets his upper body, his trunk of his body turn? You just go too far right here. So let your leg come right up towards your left shoulder, or your right shoulder. That's how his is coming up toward his right shoulder, and then the skip's going to go in that same direction. Let your body go right there. You can see how he's kept his left arm. Look, your arm's here and it's bent. He's kept that arm out here. He's got this arm instead of you're finishing it down here. You need to finish it up a little higher. And see how you've already started leaning. Your whole body's leaning to the right. You're not staying over the ball. You're kind of rising up. You're rising up with it. You're kind of coming up right here, coming up. And again, emphasize, pretend there's like a ceiling right here, like a ceiling. And you're going to kick. If you raise that head up, you're going to hit the ceiling right there. Just kick through the ball. See how he kicks through the ball? And I don't even see his kicking leg. I don't even see it to the right. And now he finishes and it brings down. Look where the positioning where he brings it down. So just focus on that finish. See how he's finishing here? Do one-step kicks. Focus on that finish, how he does, and it'll start correcting some things for you. You'll do a lot of things natural if you just kind of focus on this finish. And don't let that leg see you're done here and you're watching the ball. Watch him. He's got his head still in that same position. He doesn't look up to right there. Okay, let's go ahead and back up just a little bit. We'll take things all back. Go back to where he's marking his steps off. I'm going to unlock this thing. Okay, now here's what I talked to you earlier about too. You know, a lot of kickers we've studied over the many years. You watch this; they start back with their kicking foot first. So watch his kicking foot right here. He's got lined up. You're lined up. You've done a good job lining up, but watch how he starts back. 1, 2, 3. So there's the third step right there. And that's where you are. Let's see what's yours here. 1, 2, 3. Except you start back with the non-kicking foot first. So please consider starting back with your kicking foot right here. 1, 2, 3. There's your third step. And I would advise you just consider doing this. Go take that extra step for the alignment. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then right here, this is the alignment step where all you're doing here, all kickers are doing, they're making sure their foot, the point of placement where the ball is, and their target, all 3 points are lined up. And I don't see the ball. We know the ball's right in front of his hip right there. There's his foot. There's the center. So he's right here. He's going to take that left arm. What you'll see kickers, they'll take their arm and they'll run it right up in front of their kicking foot toe through the football into the target. And then as they lower it, they'll bring the right foot back up to there. And then watch the lateral steps. Look how his lateral steps are. I'm going to move it over so you can see it. Okay. You're doing a good job. I do like how you check the target. You do a good job checking that point reference. And you are lined up pretty good here. You are lined up. There's the point right there, ball. There we go. So we're lined up pretty good. Okay, let's watch your lateral step here. You know, I would kind of abbreviate that just a tad, right about there. You're going just a little too far. Plus, see how I can tell too, and a good sign that you're going a little too far, you're turning your toe. See how your toe's turning right? And see how he keeps his nice and straight down the field? So that right there, see, that's as wide as he goes. And he's a college player, and you're wider than he is. And I think part of it, you're just turning that toe out there and keep the toe straight, don't go as wide. And plus, you can also tell if you're going too wide. Look how his head stays steady. See the relation to the land there, to the goalpost. See how he stays right there. And you can tell yours. Watch how you dip. See how you dip? That's a good indication you're reaching. See how your body's dipping down? So you're going a little too far. Okay, and then do the same thing. Ought to be duplicate, identical. Here's his identical. Watch this. These are identical steps. Watch how he does this. There's one, and this was just a mirror image of that first one. Look at that. Excellent. Does a great job, and I want you to do the same thing. Just don't turn that foot out. So here's yours. Now, here's a subtle thing. See how you're taking this step here, and your toes turn to the right here? I'm talking about the toe right there. Now watch your next, you do the duplicate, and watch what your toe does on this next one. You keep it straight. See, that's the two differences. And this is a nitpicky thing. Some people won't even tell you. They don't act like it's a big deal, but I think it's a big deal. So you got your foot turned, so you're going too wide. And even though you're going kind of wide here, you're straightening your foot out. So just how he does here on the left, just do yours the same way. Look how he keeps his feet. His toes are pointed straight ahead. Pointed straight ahead. That makes you more concise. That's why he's so dang good at it. So you got a real good visual here of something you need to work on that you can do, and you can correct this. You can correct this thing the moment you watch this. You can correct that mentally and go out there and practice it. And there's where you get your foot aligned, and we'll watch him get his. Now here's what I was talking about: rotating the foot. Watch how he rotates the foot. Look at that. Look how clean it is. He still hadn't rotated that kicking foot. He waits till he's set, and watch him shift that foot, and he gets it aligned right towards there. Excellent job. You're right here. This is where you're kind of coming here. See how what you're doing here? That I just want you to pivot like he does. See how you move it? You move the foot maybe up a half a foot, and then you got it turning, and it's over. It's aiming over here. We got to get it aiming there. So get that done. Now watch, he'll bring that foot. He'll get now. He's going to get in his stance. Now look how his feet are in his stance. There's your stance. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Maybe just slightly move this foot right up to here. Just slightly. Just move it like he's got it right there. So you might be back just a little far. Just kind of move it right there and keep that foot in the same position. And you can kind of see that the importance of getting this foot here. See how we can see a lot of his back? And then yours is more narrow because you're turned. You're turned in this way. Turned in this way. Slightly. So get there. Now he's got his body. He's in stance. And you're ready to roll here. Okay, now once you get into this stance here, oh, look at you. Pick it. Check that target. That's a good job. Check that target. But go ahead and get in your stance first. Get set. And then peek at your target. I can see your head. You're looking at the target. That's a good job. But get in your stance first and then look at it. Get in your stance. See how he does? He's in his stance and then he looks at it. Okay, now look how clean his stance is. Okay. Keep that back leg. Now this back leg, your whole body, you're just gonna, what we're gonna do here, we talked to earlier, you're gonna lean to the jab. Now watch how he leans to jab. The moment the snapper snaps the ball, the holder right here, he's gonna lift his arm up to catch it. He's gonna lift up to catch the ball. Watch this hand right here. The moment that ball snapped, watch him right here. The holder's checking the kicker. The kicker checks his target. Now the holder, he comes back to the holder. The holder now turns to the snapper. He's calling for the snap. Now you see him flash his hand. See that hand flash? He taps the ground there. That's their little routine. And watch the moment that hand comes up. Watch the kicker's body. See the kicker's body? Hand comes up. Watch the kicker. He's just leaning. He's leaning. Leaning. That's anticipate. He's done this many, many times. This is a unit right here. Snapper, holder, kicker. He leans, and once he leans, the back leg just stabilizes his body as he leans to the jab. It just stabilizes. See the back leg? He's kept it in the same position, just stabilizing to the jab. Look how nice and neat everything is. Look how straight he is right there. You're doing a little different. If you want to keep doing the jab that way, I just want you to finish I just like to see you finish like this right here. I like to see you lean and finish as you get that foot on the ground. But you're taking that, you're dipping back, which I don't have so much problem. You got a pretty good look right there. I just don't want you, you got to start, see you raising it, and I want to see you lean. If you can lean, and then bring that foot to that jab the way you do it, that's fine, but you need to lean and do it. Lean right there. See, there's the lean right there. So basically just lean. You got to get cleaner. You're coming back. See how you're leaning back? You're here, and then you lean back just to get your foot up. So don't raise it so high. You can just go ahead and have it bent and lean to that jab, or just lean. Work on that where you're leaning and then letting your foot do your drop jab. Just a little drop back jab, okay? Work on that, make that cleaner. I want to see it just clean like this, like you're leaning, and then you could do the drop jab, your drop step jab. Because you actually see he's stepping, he's got a short jab forward, and you got a short jab backwards. And I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I've seen that done. It's kind of rare. You don't see it often, but this would be much cleaner. We just do this, you just lean right to it. But it can be done the way you're doing it. But I want to see lean and then perform the jab and work on that again with one steps. And then you can kind of see how he goes into it and his drive step back to the plant right there where we began and talked about it. Okay. Really good job at the camp. Use this video. I know I compared you with a very talented college player. You're a young fellow, but this is really good for you to help see some comparisons and some things to strive for. And you're doing a lot of good things, especially at your age, and you can make some great strides just by working on these things we discussed in the video. Great job at the camp.